It is Thursday, the 20th day of December, 2024. I need to start off this very special Thursday edition of the program. Oh, excuse me by burping from a uh, Polar Seltzer Ruby Red Grapefruit flavor. Um, yeah. Anyways, let's start again, shall we? I need to start off this very special Thursday edition of the program by extending a massive congratulations to the United States of America for breaking yet another record. That's right. America had its 84th school shooting of the year, which broke the previous record of 83 that was set just last year. So another banner year for this great nation, especially for all of you out there that love guns so much that the thought of second graders getting killed for no other reason than going to school apparently makes your nipples hard. What other reason could there possibly be that you're fighting this hard over something that is fairly straightforward? Like, let's figure out how to limit access to guns to people who shouldn't have them, like 15-year-old girls. Now, you folks clearly get off on it. Get your balls all full, just in time to come all over that new AR-15 they just purchased at some dumb fucking gun show. The fact that this even has to come up, and it's something we've been talking about for what? When was Columbine? Decades? Decades ago? And we're still talking about this shit. And you almost can fucking set your watch based on this shit now. Hopefully those kids in Madison, Wisconsin that have to live with this for the rest of their lives get a hold of all those thoughts and prayers that our elected oligarchs have been throwing around. I'm sure that'll make them feel much better. Fucking foolish bullshit. Anyways, Random Thursday show will feature drones, space trains, snack foods, a few voicemails, and the Kansas City Chiefs. All of that and more on episode number 170 of Complaints and Observations.
Still, a voyage into the mundane and an exercise in futility. Swimming in the absurd while drowning in unearned self-importance. Entirely unworthy of your time. It is the world's worst podcast. This is Complaints and Observations with Dave LaPointe. Who the hell is Dave LaPointe?
I think he's a bum. I think he's an absolute bum.
All right, what's up? What's going on? Jesus Christ. Yeah, a little late with the show, as I mentioned on the Instagram. I was away on Monday, so I couldn't record. But here I am on Thursday. So you have something to do on a Thursday night or a Friday morning. And then hopefully we'll be able to record on Monday as well. Wife and I went on vacation. We went down to Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic. It was fine. The weather was terrific for the most part. It did rain a bit more than I would have cared for, but overall it was fine. Yeah, the whole point was something inexpensive, warm, and just an excuse to sort of sit around and relax. And I sort of did that. I'm not great at relaxing. I'm just very stressed and very. It's not even stressed. I'm just fucking anxious and annoyed. So, but the resort that we stayed at is it's a. I'm not going to say the name because You know what it is? It's fine. There are so many things that just happened along the way that were just puzzling. Um, the communication was poor, and I don't know if it's a country thing. I don't really know. And in fairness, we didn't leave the resort because we didn't really want to. We wanted to just like sit around. That was the whole idea, was to sit around in warm weather, soak up some sun, relax. And I think we achieved that main goal. Um, I didn't drink too much. I shouldn't say that. I didn't drink that much. Well, I don't know how to put it. There were a couple days in there where I was, uh, you know, not intoxicated. There was only really one night. I think it might have been Monday night. That was the only night that I was really drunk. All the other nights, not so much, which was nice. Now, the problem was like the food at this joint, not great. I mean, it was a solid 30% good, 70% meh, which was disappointing. But at the same time, I had low expectations going into this thing. And the resort itself, very nice. The room, very nice. They had like they called it, it was like a, the heck did they call it? But it was a separate thing that you purchase on top of your actual booking that entitled you to like a certain section, a certain pool, like very, very segregated, a certain pool, a certain beach, and the booze allegedly was better, and the selection was better. So we kind of hung out in these two spots, and honestly, I'm glad that she booked that because it would have made for a very kind of shitty time if she didn't, because the main pool was just, I mean, a mob scene. There was way too many people. The other problem is they were fucking kids. It wasn't an adults only resort, so there were kids. You guys know how much I just love children. Now picture how much I love children while I'm on vacation. Oh, just delightful, huh? But we've been to numerous countries where English is not the first language, and it's never been an issue. This was the first time that it was a bit of a problem in terms of communication, where they didn't communicate things well to us. There was like just a lack of just signage, proper signage, in places, which was puzzling. Like that whole city, for the most part, is very, very tourist driven. There's a ton of construction along the route. Um, and a lot of it, I'm sure, is going to be nothing. It's just going to end up being ruins after a while. But you can see that there's construction, there's an effort, which is nice. But and Jen made a good point about when you go to these places, you end up seeing like the same people every day. We did. We saw the same people every day. Uh, there was a lot. Like, there was a lot going on. You know, the the subtle racist from Minnesota was interesting, complaining about Somali immigrants. It's like, oh, fucking hell. You can't go out. If you drive 2 blocks away from downtown Minneapolis, you're taking your life into your own hands. All right, pal. Thanks. Appreciate it. Appreciate the heads up. Yeah, up in Duluth, it's scary. Some neighborhoods. I'm sure it's frightening. Fear, man. But there were some interesting moments. We're sitting at the steakhouse. Now we are in the Dominican Republic, and over the speakers starts playing "Winds of Change" by the Scorpions, and I'm like, whew. I wonder if they played this just to appease the German mob. But then you start hearing some other songs from different parts of the world, but they're not. but they're random ass songs. And so it makes me wonder if they're able to play those for free, because licensing music for some of these resorts has always been a challenge. And I may have even mentioned this on a previous episode at a previous resort. And then it was like on the ride home from the airport, I paid for a transfer, and the guy driving, like, he sets up his tablet and he fires up YouTube to start playing some music. And so the first song that pops up was Journey. So I'm like, all right, that's fine, whatever. Not that he fucking cares. But then what does he change it to? Like, Total Eclipse of the Heart. And so we get like middle-aged white people, like slow dancing music, like a junior high dance on the ride back to the airport. But there was also a guy there who was very much a Chiefs fan. He had like a Chiefs bucket hat. At one point, he had a Chiefs bathing suit. And I don't know this for certain. However, I'm assuming that the room that had Chiefs flags hanging off the balcony was his. Yes, that's right. Chiefs flags hanging off of his balcony. Now, in fairness, he may have done it so he could remember where his room was, or he's a sociopath. We'll talk about the Chiefs in a bit. So that was vacation time. All right, so one of the hot topics, if you will, is all this shit about drones. Now, it seems as if what we have are a lot of uncomfortable people afraid of these things because the comfort of a certain part of the American citizenry is somehow the most important thing in the world. They need a reason to be afraid of shit. I'd say it's not right. It's turned into a big deal. Now, the funny part about it, at least to me, was initially that there were literal people, humans, on the internet saying that there was an Iranian mothership over the Atlantic that was releasing drones over New Jersey. What? Why? What are we doing? How is it that I exist in a world with people who feel this who feel that way? How is that possible? I am not a smart person by any stretch of the imagination. However, I would be smart enough to know that if there were an Iranian mothership floating over the Atlantic Ocean, that it would be much bigger news. And that's not to say that I'm going to put all of my faith and trust into the mainstream media, because that's obviously not it. However, it would have been there would have been photographs from people, in commercial airliners in commercial planes taking pictures of this Iranian mothership. What do you think? It's going to just like suddenly? I can't even. I can't. There are hundreds of thousands of drones on this planet right now. Hundreds of thousands. Most of them are owned by the United States military. And they're used to spy all over the world, used to kill brown people all over the world. But a bunch of fucking housefraus in New Jersey being uncomfortable is suddenly paramount. Like, for the love of fucking Christ, get over yourselves. And I'm convinced that that maybe the first one was an actual military drone. But then, you've got a bunch of other people who own drones. Just start flying them. Just being shitty, trolling adults. And then you had some others that were kids, probably. It's not some Chinese conspiracy. It's just a bunch of assholes flying their fucking remote control planes, which is what they fucking are. But you've got Senator Chuck Schumer in a fucking panic. You've got to get a quote from Donald Trump. What does he think about drones? He's got no fucking clue. So don't even bother asking him. But this is going to be a thing. So there's something else going on that these drones distracted us from, because that's how this shit works. But to read all this shit about drones, it's like, oh my god, what are we doing? It's occasionally frustrating to live in the same place as some of the people that are freaking out about drones. Like, unless they're shooting at you, like, you shouldn't fucking really care. Yeah, boy. On the flip side of that, I learned something the other day, like going, apparently on the moon. The moon, over the course of the last 12 to 16 months, has become a big, big deal for people who aren't like you and I. And so you have, there's an organization called DARPA. DARPA is I'm going to get you the proper, you've probably heard the term DARPA before. Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. It goes back to 1958. And good old General Dwight D. Eisenhower. Who probably believed in aliens. Or probably, I shouldn't say that. Who probably thought aliens landed. In just America. Nowhere else on Earth. They came here. Anyways. So DARPA has decided that it would be a good idea to focus on building a rail system of some sort on the moon. That's right. And they've chosen Northrop Grumman. Or Northrop Grumman. Not sure how it's pronounced. Why? I don't know, and I don't care. I just know that it's another one of these defense contractors that is getting a ton of our money on a yearly basis. A shit ton of our money. One of many of these outfits that is getting a ton of our money, but still. So they've been tasked with, they were chosen to come up with a plan for putting a train on the moon. And the part that kills me, right? Now, first things first. This was announced back in April, so 8 months ago, and I'd never heard of it until the other day. On Northrop's PR page, basically, there's a press release. Quote, imagine it's the year 2034, and you're boarding a lunar railroad that will carry you from your research base to your living quarters after studying the lunar landscape. End quote. Right. So, We're focused on the moon. We're gonna do shit on the. We're gonna put people on the moon. Because instead of fixing the problems that we have here at home, we need to bring some problems to, another solar system. No, Jesus Christ. We need to bring our problems to another celestial body. There it is. Like, what are we doing? Why? For what? What is the point? What are you researching on the moon? There's nothing there. It's a floating rock with zero atmosphere. All it's going to do is suck up more resources from this planet, and more money is going to be funneled into the hands of people who probably don't need it and just want it to get their rocks off. That's it. Northrop has already received $7.6 billion in the last 12 months from the U.S. government, spread out over 6,587 separate transactions, which is roughly $1.15 million per, according to the website usspending.gov. $7.6 billion in a year. I bet Elon and Vivek are just salivating looking at that website, thinking about all the waste they're going to eliminate. Yeah, no. Anyways, Northrop was selected by DARPA to develop a, quote, lunar railroad, end quote, concept. Now, I can't find what the actual amounts are, but what I could tell is that basically just to do the study, it was like $1 million. And that doesn't include like obviously the cost of the project if it gets approved. But it's somewhere in that $7.6 billion somewhere. And it seems that DARPA specifically has a hard-on over lunar expansion, as their director, Michael Nayak, said back in March, quote, a large paradigm shift is coming in the next 10 years for the lunar economy, end quote. What the fuck is the lunar economy? What is it? What is that? Explain that to me. Somebody, please fucking tell me what the lunar economy is. How do you expect to make money from the moon? What is it that you're going to gain from the moon? And it's not the downside to it is not just us, the Chinese. They're going to be doing shit on the moon too. So now you're just going to have a fucking war break out on the moon. Because it's a dick measuring contest between these two fucking countries. But why are we wasting money? Taxpayer money on developing anything on the moon. Like, how are the rank and file U.S. citizens going to benefit at all from anything that happens on the moon? Tell me, what could what could I possibly benefit from other than looking at pictures of what they're doing on the moon? And then being like, oh, wow, they're growing food on the moon. Or, oh, wow, they built a fucking train on the moon. Oh, wow, there's a bunch of fucking astronauts living on the moon. Big fucking deal. It does not benefit me at all. At all. And it doesn't benefit you either, you fucking idiot. But you know what's going to benefit? That's that good old U.S. oligarchy. And especially guys like Elon and Vivek, who will likely stand to benefit from some of that sweet, sweet, free taxpayer money. And here it is at the end of the year. And the only way I even knew about this is I saw someone on Instagram posted a reel about it that just happened to find its way through all the scantily clad 35 to 50-year-old women in my algorithm the other day. And there's just so many things wrong with all of this. But as is the case with most things that go on in this country, we're spending time fighting about shit that does not matter. to distract us from what's really going on. And that's the thing, right? I'm not a conspiracy theorist, so I'm not going to sit here and tell you what is or what isn't going on, but it's definitely something. Because how do we not know about this shit, right? I pride myself on being fairly coherent when it comes to current events, right? And so to not know about something like this is kind of appalling. And I would guess, unless you're like a trained dork or a space nerd or just some other asshole that has their nose up the military's asshole, like you're not going to know about this. The average everyday American doesn't know anything about space trains. They don't, which tells me that there's more to it, probably, and that whatever they plan to do on the moon, I'm sure is fucking nefarious in some extent. But man, oh man, it's so fucking wasteful. Everything is all we're doing is wasting money, and then we're gonna have these two fucking goons sit here and try to tell me what is a waste of money and what isn't. So when they pitch a plan to Donald Trump to get rid of Social Security because it's wasteful, or get rid of the VA because it's wasteful, or try to privatize the postal service, try to make money from fucking the U.S. mail. When all that shit happens, people will get upset about it, but then at the same time they're going to be sending people to the moon to do research on fucking rocks in its zero atmosphere. Fuck yourselves. Honestly, it's just the whole point of it is so goddamn stupid. I don't even know what the fuck to say. Yeah, let's get to something that I know even less about, which is football. My voice sounds like shit for some reason. I don't care for it. Anyways, let's talk about the Chiefs, shall we? There are 4 teams this season that have yet to score 30 points in a game. The Patriots, the Giants, and the Raiders are 3 of them. And you know why? Well, because they blow. The 4th team is the vaunted Kansas City Chiefs. And this year's edition could not be a bigger fraud than they are. I read my notes totally wrong there. But anyways, 15 straight one-score wins, which is a league record. And if I can do math correctly, 2 more than the early Tom Brady Patriots when they were relying on defense and not the greatest of all time to win them games. Right now, the Chiefs allegedly have the greatest of all time in Patrick Mahomes, and they are squeaking out games. Now, it's funny to read like the way that some writers are talking about the Chiefs and how they're gutting this out and how they're so good at this and so good at that, instead of just admitting the fact that they're fucking lucky as hell. They're doing all of this against a statistically average strength of schedule. So, in other words, middling teams. And honestly, like the key to all of this is the defense. Steve Spagnuolo, the D coordinator, has apparently been rolling out some zone defense, which is not a thing anymore, and hasn't been since he used it once before a few years back. But they're very good on third down, so they don't punt much. So they keep drives alive, which is probably why. Well, I shouldn't say why, but one of the reasons why they haven't scored 30 points is because they managed to just drain clock and run a ton of plays every time they have the football. But it doesn't account for, the rabbit's foot, a handful of 4-leaf clovers, and a horseshoe crammed up their collective ass. Because It's how it's been. They blocked a game-winning field goal against Denver, but if you look at it, it was like a fingertip block. And the guy who blocked it literally just threw his hand in the air and happened to get it. A couple of weeks ago, they won a game on a field goal where the ball is clearly going to the left, and then it doinks off the upright and goes in. And then there was a game against the Raiders where the center couldn't hear the snap count, or the guard couldn't hear the snap count, or something. But the center snaps the ball right off the quarterback's chest, turnover, and they win the game. And it makes me wonder, like, am I really supposed to believe that shit like that is going to happen against a really good team? Like, they've already lost to the Bills. So you expect me to believe that that's going to, continue? No. I don't see it. Like, the Steelers on Christmas Day have a shot. And it wouldn't shock me if Denver somehow pulled it off at the end of the year. And I'm convinced they're not that good. Absolutely 1000% convinced that they're not that good. But again, what do I know? Not much, really. Let's get to some voicemails. Got a few this week, a few. And we're going to start with my old pal, Mike. What do you got for us, Michael?
Dave, it's Mike again. Just calling in. Remember that time I called to leave a message and you picked up the phone? How awkward that was. So thanks for not doing that. Yeah. So anyways, just wanted to clarify something. You know, the girl from Wareham who came to save me, let's just not forget that I was the low life in that situation. It was just sad that, we talked a lot the last time and her life story was really depressing. But you don't get too much. You don't get to talk to people whose life stories are generally depressing. That's sad. Anyways, just want to tell you the real thing that I have to be complaining about here. So I went to Vegas, for one of our shows back in August. Went out a couple nights, nothing crazy. Woke up the last day sick and ended up catching COVID, for like the third time or whatever. So sick as a dog, fly home sick, get home sick, in bed for a few days, and my wife was pissed. She's, why don't you go to Vegas and catch gonorrhea like everyone else does when they go to Vegas? Why gotta go catch COVID? Try to get us all sick here. Anyways, get over it. Then a few weeks later, I'm just feeling lazy, like I'm tired. I'm, laying down, whatever. And it's been going on. Go to the doctor, this and that. They don't know if it's heart, this, blah, blah, blah. Like, oh, it's long COVID. And then eventually they figured out that it was the COVID reactivated mono that I got when I was a teenager, because I guess mono stays in your system your whole life. So, you hear these things about people with long COVID, and that's been me since freaking August here. Just thought you might find that genuinely interesting, because you hear, long COVID thrown around, you're like, oh, whatever, and that's what it is. It's terrible. I feel like I'm hungover all the time, so if I feel like I'm out of it, that's why. But anyways, hope you eat a lot of turkey. Have a great Thanksgiving. Love you. See ya.
Fucking hell, dude. There was a lot going on there. And I'm kind of bummed that I missed this the last time that I recorded, because this was, what was this? The 27th. So right before Thanksgiving. Yikes. Hence the reason why it says have a great Thanksgiving at the end. But the best part of that, at least that I thought, is like his wife, why don't she catch gonorrhea? I really, really hope that part was a joke and you made that up? Because your response should have been like, "Well, next time I'll try. If this COVID thing is so bothersome for you, I'm gonna go out and just try to get gonorrhea. I'll try my best to bring that home, ma'am." Yeah, long COVID. Long COVID's fucking weird. And the fact that it reactivates mono, I find that a little. I also find, but that's sort of thing like what's that? Like shingles. So like if you ever had chicken pox, you are susceptible to shingles, which is just old people chicken pox that hurts 10,000 times more. So that's a new one. I'd never heard about that. They reactivate mono. Oof. Hence the reason why you were exhausted and tired. You probably couldn't ride the Peloton, which must have been horrible for you. I don't even know if you're still doing that. But that must have been horrific. Mono. One time I thought I had mono for a whole year. It turns out I was just bored. Stolen joke. That fucking blows, dude. Hopefully in the months since it has subsided and that you're not just exhausted and feeling hungover all the time. I mean, that's just sad. Yeah, there were some really interesting points there, but you know. Anyways, thank you as always, Mike, and please keep me abreast of how you're feeling. 617-804-1557. On to the next.
Hi, this is Sanjana calling you from Present Tax Filing. I'm trying to reach you, but your call turns to voicemail. Once you receive this voicemail, please do reach us on 916-241-4499. Thank you. Have a great day.
Now, obviously, that was a spam voicemail, which to me, there's a couple things that stand out. One, the away message in the voicemail is quite obvious as to what this is. Yet, the scam artist here still feels the need to leave a voicemail and is speaking so fast that it's impossible to understand what they're saying, with the exception of the phone number. Like Google translated it as, "This is Angela calling you from present. I'm trying to reach you, but your call doesn't always answer this voicemail. Please reach out to us at blah, 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 blah." One of my biggest fears is that my mother falls for a scam call like this. And the fact that again that this is a thing in this country, on this planet really, where, working very hard to do illegal shit seems to be the way to go for far too many people on this planet. And I think part of it is, again, just that general wealth gap everywhere around the world. So the easiest and most efficient way, to try to make some money is to steal it. So, I mean, it's always been that way. It's that, been like that forever, really, right? But man, yeah, it's one of those things that makes me nervous often, that I'm gonna get a call someday, whether it's from my mother or from somebody else, that says that she's given every dime that she has, what little she has, to somebody who called her. But I tell her all the time, it's like, if you don't know the number, don't answer it. If it doesn't say like me or my niece or my nephew or my brother or my sister-in-law or my wife, like, don't answer the phone. Don't answer it. And so far, she's been pretty good, and I hope that continues. On the flip side, I hope I never get scammed. But you never know, right? You never know. However, Angela from Present you can fuck off. Next.
Hello, David. Longtime listener. Donnie Washburn calling in. I wanted to see what your thoughts were on reaction videos. Every time I'm going to YouTube, maybe it's a song or some news or I don't know whatever it is on YouTube, I have to scroll through, 3 different reaction videos of what I'm looking to actually watch before I actually get to the thing. And why do I give a fuck about some random person's opinion on what I'm trying to watch? Like, I don't know. Just wanted to get your opinion on it. And again, glad the program's back. Take care now. Ta-ta.
Great to hear from you, Donnie. Hope all is well. Donnie, 1/2 of 1/3 or 1/4 of the show's house band, The Quiet Violent. Thank you. Reaction videos. Now, here's something that you may not know about your boy. I don't spend a ton of time on the YouTube. Mainly because I hate ads. So I'm not going to spend a ton of time on YouTube. Mainly because that 5 seconds before I can actually skip drives me nuts. However, Donnie made a point about reaction videos, and so it led me down a bit of a rabbit hole to try to find some of these things, and I'm convinced that, some of these things are money-making ideas where they're just piggybacking off of current events and shit that's going on, which, quite frankly, rather clever. But there's nothing original to it. All you're doing is, you're filming yourself giving an opinion about something that's kind of in the news, right? Whether it be an actual news story or, like Donnie said, like a song or something, or like one of the things I saw today were reaction videos for the trailer for the new Superman movie, which the trailer looks fucking awesome. Right? It looks fucking great. What I should have done was recorded myself saying that one part. But then I probably would have said, James Gunn better not fuck this up. I'm sick and tired of Superman being fucked up. I don't like it. Like, it's so pure and simple. Please don't ruin it. But, then of course he fucking has Crypto come out and it's like, oh my god, man, really? Oh, that was so fucking cool. When he whistled for the dog. Oh, it was so great. Anywho. Yeah, it's weird. And it's but the thing of it is, right? If people are stopping to watch them, if you build up an audience reacting to shit, you're gonna make money. And YouTube is a moneymaker. So I certainly on one hand see your point, Donnie. It makes sense. Like, you're not looking for that, but some of those fucking videos that I watched today, like some of these people had a lot of followers. So obviously they're not random to those people. I don't know. I mean, think about it. Like, if you get enough eyes on something, you're gonna do pretty well with the old YouTube. But like for me personally, if I'm looking for something and I have to scroll through a bunch of that shit, yeah, I'm with you, Donnie. Like that would fucking drive me nuts. But there must be a market for it if there's so many of them, right? Yeah. Hey, thanks for listening, and thanks for calling in. Thanks to Mike. Thanks to Donnie. Thanks to Angela from Present for calling in. And I implore you to do the same. Then again, all 3 people that I've just mentioned are probably my only listeners. So, guys, if you want to call in again, like, have at it. 617-804-1557. Call in. Yeah. All right, mercifully, program has come to an end. But not without three gripes, three gripes. Why did I just sing song that thing, three gripes? Why did I do that? I don't know. Gripe number one, applause on a plane. Welcome back to this complaint to three gripes. But it happened again on the flight home the other day. Now, and it made me think, should I be applauded for doing my job correctly? No. And neither should pilots or who. I mean, look, I'm happy that they didn't fuck up. Not enough to offer a round of applause. I'm just, I don't know, man. It's one of those weird things that happens that just elicits such a visceral reaction from me. Because I hate it. Gripe number two. Please forgive typos. No, I won't. And you see this, I think it's like a standard text at the end of emails sent from an iPhone where it says, please forgive typos. Do you not care enough about this message that you're sending me that you can't give it a cursory glance before hitting send? Like, are you being put out by having to make sure that you're spelling shit correctly? No, like, fuck off. What are you doing? I'm not going to forgive them because if you type something wrong and it's like an egregious error, I'm calling you out. Like, if you spell my name incorrectly in 2 straight emails, I'm going to tell you. Dear sir, my name is spelled X, whatever. Oh, sorry. I'm emailing you from my phone. I don't care where you're emailing from. Grow the fuck up. Grow up. It takes 2 seconds to see if you've spelled something incorrectly. 9 times out of 10, there's a little squiggly line that tells you that it's wrong. Names you wouldn't, proper nouns, you're not going to get the squiggly line in most cases, but whatever. Like, don't be a fucking prick. What are you doing? Gripe number 3, Amazon drivers. Now, this is a recent phenomenon, at least for me. It's the time of year where there's a ton of Amazon drivers on the road. There are very long hours for these people. I would venture a guess that they're delivering basically 18 hours a day at this point, right? We're driving down a major thoroughfare last night, and I had to basically yell. There's someone in the street. My wife, who was driving, she didn't see the guy. Didn't see him. And now this is a very busy road. And sure enough, what the fuck? It happened again today. Driving down another major thoroughfare, guy crossing the street, delivering a package. Like, how many of these fucking people die from crossing the street at night? You'll never know because Amazon will never fucking tell you. And they wear little to no reflective gear. Like, the issue jacket that they have is like it has like this stripe on the upper arm on the sleeve, and that's it. Like, it's fucking pitch black. I can't see you. Like, that fucking little strip is not enough. I need a whole reflective thing. And you know what? Put a fucking headlamp on or some shit. Put a fucking construction vest on these people, Bezos. How many? They're not making anything. Like, they're making fucking peanuts. The least you could do is make sure that they don't get fucking run over by a car delivering shit that they don't fucking need. Man, like, have a fucking clue. Like, a little shred of humanity. Beyond frustrating. And it's so petty and so minor and so easy to fix. It, it would cost them an extra $2 a week per person. So, God forbid the shareholders miss out on, I don't know, fucking 0.2 cents per person per quarter. If that. Including some sort of safety measure so that these people don't fucking die making you money. The oligarchy has been a real theme today, and I have a feeling it's going to be a real theme moving forward as time marches on. Because that's what we are. Like, we're just a representative oligarchy. But whatever. What can you do, right? Nothing. I have zero control over it. Zero. So I'll just complain. Anyways, that's it for the show. I have an Instagram page at ComplaintsPod. I have I'm on Threads at ComplainsPod. I'm on Twitter at ComplainsPod. I'm a bunch of other places at ComplainsPod. You can catch me on just about every podcast platform at this point. You can call into the show, leave a voicemail 617-804-1557. 617-804-1557. I am exhausted. Maybe I have fucking mono. Jesus Christ. Sound like shit. I'm tired. Yeah. Yeah. All right, that's it. Listen, I'll probably record again on Monday. Because I'm sure more shit will come up between now and then, or it'll be a short show. And yeah, we'll see. But anyways, look, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Godspeed. Ta-ta.